Hello, I'm Suzanne from Mosaic Oasis Studio and Supply. Today we're going to talk about at-home packs and what you can do while you're home during this time. Let me refer you to my video that I posted called cutting tile. You should look at that first. That would be a good precursor for this video. All right, so if you want to, I can put together for you an at-home pack. And for $25, that at-home pack would include a substrate, and you can look at my website, mosaicoasis.com, and look at one-time projects, and you can see the selection of substrates that you can choose. It includes a substrate, it includes glue, a tweezer, a little spreading glue spreader, and then it'll include tiles, enough tiles for your project. And you will tell me, you can email me and tell me what color scheme you might like. So that's what you get for $25. If you've done mosaics before, if you want to cut tile up, if you cut tile, you can really, you can do more designs. I can include a wheeled nipper for an additional $25. So $25 without the nipper and $50 with the nipper. And that gives you a discounted price on the nipper. So first I'm going to show you what you can do without any cutting. This is an example I have on my website. It's a little hot plate, and you can see that it's kind of gray and white motif. I'm going to do one today, but I'm going to use shades of green. Really, the way you get started, I'll call this abstract. This is an abstract mosaic. The way I like to get started, and everyone does it a little different, but if you've never done it before, it's good to just have some kind of direction. I just start, I may use my tweezers, by just laying out my tile, just laying it out kind of however I think it might look nice. I want to put the tiles fairly close together because I've painted all these gray, so you do not necessarily need to grout. Grouting at home is kind of messy. So you want to put your tiles pretty close together. I just lay them down, and then when I get to a point where it's something I like, I'll start to glue. So also with these, with my color palette, these are mostly shades of greens. I'm kind of following this gray one. I like to throw in just a pop of another color. So for this mosaic, I'm going to throw in a pop of purple. I like how green and purple look together. And I've got round tiles, I've got square tiles, I have rectangular shapes. And once I get to it, I don't fill the whole thing, I do like a corner at a time. And once I get to a place that I like, now I'm going to start gluing. So the glue that you have in your pack is called Weld Bond. It looks like Elmer's glue, but it cures much harder. And then when it dries clear. So don't worry if you get any glue on top of your tile, it'll dry clear. Get yourself a little top, like a recycled thing, or a piece of paper towel works as well. I just start from like the corner. For the bigger tiles, I use the little stick that you'll have, and I just put, the glue is your adhesive, so you want to be fairly generous. I just drop it down and then I press it. For the smaller pieces, I just use my tweezers and I dip them in. And it's okay if glue squishes out from the side. In fact, it's actually good to see some glue squish out at the side. You don't want so much glue that it comes up between the cracks, but you do want to make sure you have enough so that your tiles will stay adhered to the board. So now I'm just gluing these down. Once I get these done, I'm going to move on and start, I don't know if you can see, I've got most of these glued down. Then I'm just going to continue, down here, and I'm just going to work my way and fill in the whole mosaic. And you can do that with a selection of different sized tiles without any cutting. So now I'm going to move on to how you might want to make a mosaic in which you cut tile. So I'll put this aside. First of all, if you're going to make something representational, what I like to do, and everyone works a little different, I like to plan a little bit. So I'm going to get myself a piece of paper, and I'm going to trace the size of my substrate. So this is like a 5 by 5. Just going to trace that out. So now I know what size board I'm working on. And then I'm gonna do some sketching and draw out what I want to do on my substrate. I decided to make a very simple lighthouse scene. Once I get to that lighthouse scene, this is what I want, then I'm gonna transfer it to my board. I'm just gonna redraw it. I'm not gonna do anything fancy. I'm just gonna lay that aside. That was just for me to scribble to figure out what I wanna do. Then with my pencil, you can draw right on this wood, I transferred it, and then I just outlined it in black Sharpie so I could actually see my lines. So this is my very simple, very crude little drawing. In Mosaics, your drawing is called a cartoon. It does not have a lot of detail. And now I know where to start. I'd call this a landscape. So for a landscape, I usually start from the bottom and go up. So I'm going to do this like sandy area. Next I'm gonna do the lighthouse. Then I'm gonna do the background. The background is water and it's sky. So what I'm first gonna do, for my sand, I chose tiles, sandy colored, beiges and browns. I'm gonna cut up a bunch, and you can look at the YouTube video on cutting to get a tutorial on that. I'm just gonna cut a bunch up, and then I'm gonna start laying them down. I'm gonna glue the same way I glued before. Typically, for many beginners like to lay them out first. So you might wanna just lay them out, get your color pattern going, and then just glue them down and continue. And you can cut up different tiles to fit. I think that's